I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, November the 28th, where this calf market is much improved. If the cattle on feed report that was so bullish and just much better than anybody ever dreamed it could be, if it didn't help the board and it didn't help anything else, I believe it did help keep the fat market higher, continuing through the rest of the week, and could help us keep at least a steady fat market this week. But it did help the calf market and continue to infuse some positive notes in your yearling market. What's left of it, there's just not enough yearlings left around to really talk about much anymore. But the calf market is much improved, especially your lightweight calves. But let's look at the board on Tuesday. December live cattle futures down 22 cents. Just absolutely no support at all from your bullish cattle on feed report. It's like they didn't even know that it happened. But December live cattle ended the day on Tuesday at 116.70. February was down a nickel, ending the day at 120.60. January feeder cattle down 72 cents at 148.42, and March down 15 at 146 even. But your storm kind of blew through the Midwest there, had a kind of a rough storm there late in the weekend, early in the week. It's kind of blown over now and getting the roads back in shape. Wasn't a whole lot of snow in many areas in northern Missouri. I talked to a friend of mine there. He said, you know, only about 4 or 5 inches there. It's just that it blew and drifted pretty bad, but he said it's kind of blown over now, and it's looking like the weather's going to get back in shape. I happen to be way down here in Arizona right now, so I couldn't be any further away from all that snow. But down here in Arizona, checking on a DV Auction customer, Wilcox, Arizona, where you can view and bid on their market every Thursday. But you look at your fat cattle market, we haven't seen much of anything so far this week. We did see a little bit of cleanup trade on Monday, about 2,600 head, and it had a lot to do with the storms, mostly in Iowa, and the bad weather and things going on there. But some live sales from 114 to 115 really didn't get to sink our teeth into anything that happened on Tuesday. Heard some rumors of some cattle still selling right in there in those same areas, and close to steady on dress trade, but didn't have anything come in confirmed on mandatory price reporting. But box beef cutout values just kind of mixed here starting the week out. Your choice cuts Tuesday afternoon were $214 even. That was down 45 cents. Your select $200.24. That was up 45 cents, and a choice select spread of $13.76. Look at what's going on here middle of the week. Western Livestock Video is having a big sale on Wednesday here, and be sure and get on there. We're not seeing a lot of big videos right in here until we get to the bell ringer in January there for Superior, but got a big Western video going on out of Reno, Nevada on Wednesday. My friend Glenn Benjamin out of Colorado is going to be fielding bids for us online, and that's what I hear anyway. So load him up and then see how he can handle it or not. But that's going to be the first time for him to be fielding online bids in a big way. But let's look at your feeder cattle markets. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central late in the day on Tuesday sitting at 145.47. That's based on a 800-pound steer. That's up 55 cents compared to Monday's close, so continued having some good sales on Tuesday. Let's look at some big auctions on Tuesday. Your calf sale in El Reno, OKC West, 7,500 head. That's a lot of calves, but you remember they didn't have any sales at all last week due to Thanksgiving, but catching up in a big hurry. But a lot of calves and a surprisingly strong calf market right in the face of those big supplies. Steer calves $3 to $8 higher, and that's on the bigger steer calves. Those peewees weighing under 5 were sharply higher, some of them as much as $13 higher. And that goes to show that guys are still buying wheat pasture cattle, even though our normal turnout date was the middle of November. But they're still adding to some of those wheat pasture cattle out there, and good demand for the lightweights especially. A big disparage between the steer calves and the heifer calves. We've already had the big steer heifer discount, but heifer calves in El Reno higher, but only $2 to $4 higher. But you see this about every year. People would rather turn out the steer calves, those lighter weight steer calves especially, and then whenever they come off of wheat, a lot of them will, if they don't take them to graze out wheat, or they may background them for a while, but then they'll go right to grass and make big yearlings out of those cattle coming off the end of next summer. But you look at OKC West market report there on Cattle Market Central. You see the well-represented weights there and a lot of calves in there. But 1,161 head of 5-weight steer calves, average 552 at 156.21. That's a weighted average on all the 5-weight steer calves in El Reno. Heifers, 5 weights, 1,415 head of those, average 543, 133.68. On the bigger steer calves, 1,064 of those 6-weight steer calves, average 635 at 146.09. Another big calf sale they had on Tuesday was at Winter Livestock Auction in La Junta, Colorado. Had well over 3,000 head at Winter on Tuesday there. Steer calves there, similar to El Reno, $5 to $8 higher, and spots $10 higher, especially on those lighter weights for the same reason, for the winter wheat grazing demand. Over 700-pound calves, didn't have a lot of true yearlings there, but the heavier feeder calves $2 to $3 higher. Heifer calves $1 to $2 higher. You see that same big disparage between the heifer calves and the steer calves, and it just grows when you have this big demand for wheat pasture cattle. Most everybody wants the steers, and the bigger heifer calves weighing over 600 pounds sold mostly steady. Look at a couple of individual quotes. Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri. Look at this, and this will be a yearling quote there. 206 head of 818-pound yearling steers in West Plains bring 156.85. And then my friend Kurt Sporleader there in Unionville Livestock Market in north central Missouri, Unionville, Missouri. 4 loads from the Rock and R Cattle Company there, weighing from 740 to 850 pounds, and all 4 of those loads bring from 158 to 159 a quarter. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.